Hey there, everybody. I am King 5 meteorologist Leah Pezzetti. It is Thursday evening, and oh my goodness, it is a nice night. Here are a couple looks outside around the sound as of Thursday evening, just after 6 p.m. here, and a lot of blue sky. It is so nice out there. This is a view from Bellingham, from Seattle, from Everett and Tacoma, across the board, north to south. Spectacular conditions. Everybody around the sound is seeing really nice skies tonight. Temperatures are a little bit cooler. Do you feel the difference? We felt our warmest temperatures of the week already. That was yesterday on Wednesday. Today we've cooled things down to cooler than average. So average temperatures this time of the year, depending on where you are in the mid to upper 70s. For Bellingham, the average high this time of the year is 74 degrees. So far we have hit 70 degrees, so 4 degrees cooler than normal. Both SEA and Olympia are on track with each other. Average for this time of year is 79 degrees, and so far have hit 76 degrees. Now these numbers could change by the end of today. We'll let that official reading come in later on tonight, but that's where we are as of Thursday evening. Slightly cooler than average conditions out there. One thing I will also point out to you is that 79 degrees, you see that here? That is the warmest average high we will see for the calendar year at SEA. We never see an average high of 80 degrees or warmer. That doesn't mean we don't see it. It's an average. It looks at historic data, but that is the warmest we will get that average, and that started up earlier this week, and that average high of 79 degrees will carry into early August. So we're in that sweet spot, that time of the year when we see our warmest temperatures. As we look forward, though, that is not necessarily the case. We are going to hold on to this onshore flow that's keeping clouds returning each morning, but for your Friday, they will be more stubborn to clear. It'll be a lot harder to see sunshine tomorrow. Not completely out of the realm of possibilities, but we're not going to see those clear blue skies that we've seen today. Temperatures will also continue to cool down. So today we felt that little bit of some cooling. That trend will continue into your Friday as well. But into next week, once we start the new work week, we'll bring back a lot more sunshine in the morning as well. We're going to say goodbye to those morning clouds, and we'll let temperatures warm back into the 80s as we head into next week. Here's why. This is our upper air weather pattern. So what we've seen here is a ridge. That's what kept temperatures warm. That's why we saw our warmest temperatures yesterday. But that's starting to break down. For today, we're kind of in this stagnant weather pattern. We're not really seeing any big extremes. Not that we'll see any big extremes really for the foreseeable future. It's a little bit of some zonal flow there. So not a lot going on. It's kind of quiet in the weather department. Into the weekend, we see this trough dive down. It's not going to do too much for us other than keeping that onshore flow in play. It helps us keep that fresh, cool air coming from the Pacific, and it'll keep those clouds rolling in and staying stubborn. But then into next week, we see this ridge. This is going to start to dominate. That is going to keep that trough off to the west. It's going to keep temperatures on the warmer side, and it'll keep skies clear. So that is the pattern that we're seeing here as we look forward. And that's why we have these cooler and somewhat cloudier conditions into the weekend, but we'll get better clearing and warming into next week, which, by the way, this 7-day forecast is our final 7 days of July. Hard to believe that the month is wrapping up. Let's take a closer look at your Friday and get you going for the weekend. There are those morning clouds that we'll wake up to. A little bit of clearing into the evening. We will still see the sun peeking out at points, but it's just not going to be as crystal clear as what we've seen today. I showed you those camera views at the beginning. Clear blue skies out there. That won't necessarily be the case tomorrow, but we'll still see the sun trying to peek out. But temperatures will stay a lot cooler as well. Along the Olympic Peninsula, places like Forks on the coast, you have already seen this, and this trend continues. Clouds will stay dense pretty much all day long. That will keep temperatures a lot cooler as well. We'll see temperatures staying in the 50s through most of the day, with low 60s possible, but really overall it's a lot cooler and cloudier for tomorrow. So let's track that here on our Futurecast. This is 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Everybody is starting your day with those widespread clouds across western Washington. We could squeeze out a little bit of drizzle in our morning hours, but overall it's just going to be cloudy gray skies. This is 5:30 in the evening tomorrow for your Friday, and you see those clouds really don't break. We have some sun breaks mixed in. It's not a completely gray day, but it's not going to be a completely clear day as well into the evening. Saturday, that changes. We're going to see those morning clouds take hold once again. So as you're getting your Saturday going, you look out the window, okay, it'll be a little bit gray to start the day, but we'll see beautiful clearing into the afternoon and evening. This is Saturday at 5:30 p.m. here, and the sun will come out. So the sun looks to dominate more so into the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, less so Friday. Friday is going to be our cloudier of the next 3 days. Temperatures for your Friday on the cool side. We'll cool things down a little bit more. So we're looking at mostly 60s, especially for our water adjacent areas, for the San Juans, for the western parts of Whatcom and Skagit counties. Some 70s popping up as you head inland, but it is going to be on the cooler side. Comfortable though, very comfortable temperatures. Island County also looking at 60s, most of Snohomish County into the 60s with the exception of areas heading into the foothills. So if you head a little bit farther east, we'll sneak some of those low 70s in. Most of King County also looking to hit that low 70-degree marker, and then Kitsap County looking at 60s with a few low 70s sneaking in there as well. Pierce and Thurston counties, these are some of our warmer spots for the lowlands tomorrow, but even then, Puyallup, 74 degrees for tomorrow. That's a lot cooler than the 80s that we hit today. I believe we hit 81 degrees so far in Puyallup for your Thursday. So we will continue that cool down into tomorrow with those 70s, but that's really not that warm, and that's the warmest, or some of the warmest spots for tomorrow. Heading down I-5 into Oregon, we're also seeing those 70s pushing over along the coast though, those cooler, cloudier 60s. We see that along the Olympic Peninsula all the way up to the north coast, a lot cooler, still hanging on to that cloud cover. The Strait of Juan de Fuca, not too much of a difference. And then even Hood Canal is looking at cooler temperatures in the 60s and low 70s. So everybody's on tap for cooler weather with the exception of Eastern Washington. Eastern Washington will be much warmer than Western, as we often see in this time of the year. 80s and 90s are expected. So if you're heading east for any weekend trips or anything, get ready for 80s and 90s. A lot more sunshine off to the east as well. So these temperatures through the weekend with cooler temperatures, we're staying cooler than normal. Like I showed you, normal is in the 70s, but we're staying in those low to mid 70s for the next couple of days. We'll add a couple degrees each day, so we're slowly climbing up into Sunday. We'll have a lot more sunshine Saturday and Sunday compared to Friday, like I showed you. But then it's really not until next week that heat will start to settle in again. We're bringing back those low 80s Monday and Tuesday, and that's where we'll sit for the remainder of the work week next week. A lot more sunshine with that ridge that's going to be moving in. I showed you that earlier. That is going to help those morning clouds diminish. So we won't see quite as much morning cloud cover as what we've seen these last couple of days. We'll start and end the day with nice sunshine, temperatures in those low 80s. So yes, we do get that little bit of a warm up, but at this point, we're not looking at any major extremes. Really, all we're seeing here is a couple degrees of change each day. We're staying within about 5 degrees of that normal for this time of year. So overall, we are really lucking out. Seattle summer is doing what it's supposed to. Temperatures are staying mild. We get nice sunshine, and this is why we live here, isn't it? So be sure to stay with the King 5 weather team all weekend long, all summer long, as we continue to bring you the latest. But at this point, this is shaping up to be a very nice forecast.